The following video is brought to you by the guys at the Wrecking and Racing Podcast, a NASCAR podcast made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at www.wreckingandracing.com, facebook.com/Wrecking and Racing, and Twitter at Wrecking and Racing.
Drivers, start your engines!
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. And we are at the road course in Sonoma. Call it Infineon, call it Sears Point, call it Infineon, Sonoma, doesn't matter. We're at the Sonoma, California 11-turn road course, and we are lined up not exactly ideal. You can see the 6 car in front of us, but this is going to be a race mainly just keep all 4 tires on the pavement and everything should be fine. 12 laps. We do not have to pit for fuel, but we'll see what the tire wear does here. Nice slow rolling start here. Green flag is in the air, and we will be very careful going up through the first turn. It'll be a left-hander uphill under the pedestrian walk path into a hard right blind right-hander here. Very important to pick your gear, not overdrive the car, and with these cars side by side, you can't wash out too well, but we're clear. We'll get in behind the 23 here, see if we can pick the best line over this blind hill. Just point to the background and you're all set. We'll get down to the inside here, see if we can make a pass. This is a really high priority passing zone right here. If you can get to the right side and get on the brakes, you can get inside this turn very quickly. It's a hard right-hander into the S's, and it is just babying the throttle as best you can as it sweeps left and right and left and right. And then we get back on the gas hard into 4th gear for the right-hander, and this right-hander is pretty dangerous. If you overshoot it, you can go right into the dirt trap and get yourself in trouble, as I almost did right there. Into turn 11 where we started the race, and the hardest braking zone, the hardest turn, and the slowest turn, and that is a lap, woo, at Infineon Raceway, or Sears Point, as it were. So we'll see if we can get between Kane and Newman here. Both are sort of blocking my progress. Kane moves out of the way, gives us a little shot in the door, that's fine, and we'll get back up the hill here. See if we can follow Newman through. And now that we're single file, we can sort of pick and choose where we want to make our moves at. I'm thinking on the inside of this next turn, this right-hander coming up would be pretty good. So we'll get our nose to the inside, try not to lock up our tires. You could drift out over the rumble strips out to the wall to gain or keep your speed going if you were so bold. We might try that if a car is not to our left, and one would say the inside based on oval racing, but spotters here have to say car left and car right rather than inside outside, because obviously inside outside changes. So we'll get a good run here on Bubba Wallace. We'll see if we can get to the inside of him here on turn 11, and a lot of dust kicked up there. We got through it just fine, and hard braking. Don't lock up the tires inside the 21. We can make up a lot of time here. Paul Menard tries to get a good run off the turn. We'll fight back. He's sort of pushing us over into the wall. We'll keep our foot in it, get to 4th gear, and we'll have the best line going into the second turn here. Turn 1B or turn 2, depending on who you ask. He keeps his nose right there, but we will complete the pass. And Austin Dillon will be up next. So as long as you're smooth by yourself, you'll catch cars in front of you that are battling for position. And then I'm hoping that's what happens here with Austin Dillon fighting with the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We're running in the mid-20s, but I mean, we've got a crap ton of cars right in front of us ready for the picking, and plenty of time to do it. We're only on the 3rd lap. So coming to the start-finish line this time around will be 1/4 through the race, and after a road course you feel like you've done 2 or 3 regular oval races for sure. It requires a ton more concentration for every single turn. With an oval, you can sort of get into a rhythm and just click off laps. Road courses are pretty unpredictable. You can get into a rhythm on a road course and click off laps, but you know, the car is more unbalanced, let's say, than an oval. Especially if you hit a curb or miss a braking point, you could end up in the dirt pretty quick. Right on the inside of the 17, we're sort of off there. We got it back. And we're able to do a bit of a crossover here on Ricky Stenhouse. Let's put the power down. If we can stay on his right side up through this turn, we'll have ideal position here. And indeed we do. And William Byron is the next target. He's a little bit in front of us, so we can afford to run our own race here. See if he comes back to us. And they do not slow down as quickly as I do, it seems, going in that right-hander there. So we might be able to make up some positions there. Turn 11 especially. The S's are really shoddy, really unbalanced, though. The car wants to wash out really bad. You're throwing, you know, 3,600 pounds to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right. A little bit of nose braking here to keep the front tires pinned. And let's see if we can get him here inside turn 11. I don't think we've got the position on him. We might be able to put some power down on corner exit. Too much power. All right, we'll wheel him back in. No worries. All right, starting lap 5 here. We're 1/3 of the way through the race. And I believe we do have a better car than William Byron, and since we are alone, we can run our race. We can use up all the track that we need to get it done. And if Byron catches the car in front of him, it looks like the 10, then of course they'll slow each other down and I'll be able to pounce, as long as no one's trying to pounce on me. That's the thing with road course racing as well. Just like oval, if you miss your line, and then all of a sudden you've got someone beating on your back bumper, and on a road course, it's easier to lay a bumper into someone. Oh, there was a little bit of lockup there. I believe that's Brandon in front of us. Maybe locking up his tire just a bit in the S's. Oh, we hit the curb a little bit too hard there and washed out. You want to sort of clip the curb to get the car to pivot, but too much curb, and you lose all front grip entirely. So we lost a lot of ground there on that particular lap. Let's refocus and regroup. Because on a road course, you can gain 1.5 seconds on the car in front of you easily. If you nail a lap and they mess up, you can make up a lot of time. All right, starting lap 6. At the end of this lap, we will be halfway. And as I said, fuel is not going to be a factor. We could go 15 laps on fuel rather than 12. So it's just a matter of, do the AI feel that tires are better than track position, which that leaves us to be seen. We have the benefit running here in 21st of seeing what the leaders do and be able to decide for a little bit what we're going to do. If we hear the leaders are on pit road, we've got maybe a good 6 or 7 seconds to decide, is it worth our while to pit? But we are on the back bumper of William Byron once more. I think if we get a good turn here, much better. He does get a little better off that turn. If we can get a good turn 10 and make up some time, we can set ourselves up for turn 11, and indeed, we carried a lot of speed there. I think we can set up, and indeed, cars are pitting. So that begs the question. I really drove it in there, body slammed the 24, get out of my way, son. So cars are pitting. The question is, do we pit? If it stays green, definitely not. We're not going to give up any track position. And speaking of green, there goes McMurray up into the wall. That is going to bring out a yellow. So that throws all of the stay out strategy out the window for sure. If we were to pit, we wouldn't lose a whole lot of track position. I guess it just depends on what the cars in front of us do. If they come down and they go for 4 tires, maybe we can get in front of all of them with a 2-tire stop. So it's sort of the best of both worlds. We gain the track position on the cars in front of us that pitted, but we'll still have some fresh tires to hold off the cars that did pit. So that is an interesting dilemma. But we will be coming around to take the yellow this time. That's Brandon in front of us. We're in 14th place now. So we've improved by 6 spots for sure. But they will all have fresh tires and will probably eat us alive. If everyone's behind us pits and they start right behind us, they'll eat us for breakfast. So I think the best thing that we can do is pit for 2 tires, pass everyone in front of us that's going to pit, and then line up and see what happens. So we'll go ahead, get lined up for the yellow, take our 2 tires, and be back for the restart. I'll be right back. All right, pace car is off. We're in turn 11. However, the restart is pretty long here. The pace car ducks off on the left side of the hairpin and then has to drive all the way around to the right side of the hairpin. And looks like the AI is bottlenecking up a bit. Now we're in 21st place after pit stops. Green flag is in the air. We've got some decent tires under us. Come on, Joey. You want to move? Now we can't pass him before the line, but there we go. Inside of Kyle. Ooh, Kyle saves it. That's pretty outstanding on you there, Kyle. So we're setting up for ourselves well, and on the restart, they may get double file. Chase Elliott fighting down to the right side. We should keep a nose on him here. No, we'll attack him inside this next turn. We should be able to get him. But overall, a sum gain. We're 3 spots higher than we would have been before pit stops. Looks like Denny Hamlin was there on the inside. We cannot make that right turn, but we're set up well for the S's. If we can get to the outside here and not body slam anyone through, we should be okay. Walking through eggshells here, we have to clear Hamlin. And once we clear Hamlin, we can set our sights on these guys. And I think we'll have a solid run coming down turn 11 on these guys, as long as we don't blow turn 10. And I have a habit of doing that, driving too deep in this particular corner. All right, we're good. Decent exit off. And cars are pitting even still. Into Logano just a bit out of the way. Joey Brandon locks it up. And we're side by side. So that's a few more positions for us. With 2 laps to go. So overall in 13th. So a top 10 is not out of the question here. A lot of cars decided to hit pit road, and at the road course, if you were the last to pit, you were the last to finish. Hindsight of me wanted to pit with the rest of them, but as soon as it was a tough call. If the green flag stayed out, then we would have been crazy to pit because we didn't need fuel. Had we needed fuel, as soon as that window would have opened, we would have ducked on in. But let's get under Brandon here, charge hard, and get through the S's as cleanly as possible. Car's starting to wash out just a bit. Thankfully, we've got those good rights on to help us pivot a bit. And coming to the white flag, so one more lap to go this time around. A win isn't guaranteed by any means, and in fact, there's some more coming down pit road right here. So with one lap to go, cars are on pit road, and we made up a ton of time on these cars in front of us. All right, so we gotta go. We gotta get everything we can out of here. Let's get under the 6 of Bane. All too easy. Come across the line in 10th, so a top 10 is definitely doable. Oh, 23, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Move, move, move. Well, he deserved that one. Some may call it dirty and not giving him a spot, but hey, it's the last lap of the race and he was way slower than me. I'll take that all day, every day. I'm not even supposed to be here, man. All right, we'll get a hard charge here. The yellow flag is out, but that doesn't matter. We'll be coming across to the checkers. All right, so set it up well for the 32 here. We just have to get through the S's clean, and he is slow through the S's. We may actually be able to get him in turn 10 and get the next cars. Nope, he's blocking all day. So we'll back off just a little bit, get a good run here. Down to turn 11. Yeah, we've got plenty of speed. Let's get under the 32. And we've got the 62 and the 9 right in front of us. Let's see if we can put the power down smooth and clean. Good launch off. Give me the gear around the 62. And there we go. That is the race right there. Come across in 9th. I will take that for sure. So considering where we qualified and where we finished, that is not bad. Now some will say that that was dirty, but meh. And Kyle Larson gets his first win of the year. Kyle Larson without a win, and Jamie McMurray is the only car not to finish, and considering the ride he took, it's not too surprising. But yeah, I look forward to coming to the road courses. They're fun to drive, but they are a handful indeed, and pretty unexpected. Oh, well, glad that won the race. Overshot that turn, but you know what? It doesn't count. We'll get back to pit road, and we'll take a look at that Jamie McMurray incident, as that did bring out our, I would say our only caution, because we got Trevor. Because technically that was our only caution. Taking the caution coming to the checker really isn't taking a caution. We ran no laps. And geez, Chase Elliott putting Logano out in the dirt for some odd reason. Oh, come on, Austin. Don't slow down like that. Feel like a wrecking ball today. But you know what? No post-race fines. And I am fine with that. All right, let's go ahead and get to our pit stall. Park it up and call it good, and take a look at Jamie McMurray, who is applying to be a NASA astronaut apparently, because he took off like a rocket. Sponsor, Kerbal Space Program. All right, let's go back and see old Jamie Mac. And there he goes, side by side with Brandon. Brandon's got the inside and just a little touch, and he couldn't get it righted, and bam! That was a hard lick for Jamie McMurray. All right, let's take a look at the last restart. Here we go. Let's see how he did. So Kyle, that's when Kyle pinched us off. We're to the outside of Logano. This is when Chase gets us here. And from the outside, it looks like there is a whole lot more room than it feels like in the car. The car, you feel so claustrophobic and you feel like you can't move over, but you can. Yep, passing Denny there. And this is where we body slammed Denny. Well, he doesn't turn into the corner as early as he should have. We get that big run off of Denny and then to the outside here. That looked pretty impressive. And then that's when we got the good bite off and set up well. and then Bob was your uncle from there. So let's take a look at the standings after the road course. Kyle Larson has moved into 6th place with that 1 win. Chase Elliott is your cutoff driver. 9 back to Brad K, 21 back to Ricky, 25 back to AJ, who finished 3rd that race, and 31 back to Hamlin. Conversely, we've got 12 to McMurray, 13 to Jimmy, 14 to Kurt. So only a race swing between 13th and 19th. Still anybody's race for the cutoff. But that's going to do it for me in this episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.